The best chats are always the unscripted ones. There are interesting stories all around us, and here's one of them.
Open your eyes, spectacular's right in front of you.
Oh yeah, this is totally unscripted, so we never know where this is going to go.
Dangerous.
This is the unscripted perspective.
Turn the volume
And
up.
here's your host, Phil Parker. Phil Parker. Phil Parker. Phil Parker.
Well, hello. It is another unscripted perspective with me, your host, Phil Parker. And of course, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight's guest is very appreciated. We had some technical difficulties, were all my fault as well. But Melissa Price, the creator of Emotion Commotion, which is a very cool family game that we're going to talk about and actually play for people. We'll talk about your background and everything. But welcome, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Phil. I'm very excited about this.
I'm pretty excited too, and it's everyone. A hush fell over the crowd. It's like, oh no, what's gonna happen next? Everyone's gone to bed. Most people are gone to bed, I should say, my kids. But we're ready to play Emotion Commotion. But before we start, just because I want everyone to kind of know a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your background, and we can field some questions and stuff before we actually get stuck into this exciting event.
Sounds great. I have two beautiful adult children that I adore and two grandsons. They always come first because I'm just so in love.
Yeah, of course.
I have homeschooled my kids all growing up, and along with them, many other kids. So I have taught Shakespeare classes and improv, which you love, and math and all kinds of fun stuff. I love youth. I love kids. And right now I teach in prisons and I teach teens, and I love all things emotions just because of the way I grew up and what I needed to learn in this life. So I love talking about that. And let's see, I've run 21 miles without stopping once when I was 9. And I'm trying to think of, I can sing the alphabet backwards. So
these are all very interesting things. Thank you for that. But so, I mean, getting into the nitty gritty of kind of what actually we're talking about tonight is the amazing company that you have, and also just the game. You have actually 2 games, right? There is 2 games on the website. But tonight we're going to talk about Emotion Commotion. But tell me a little bit about that whole, like, how it came about, because I mean, for you being a teacher and wow, like teaching in prisons and just giving back to the community and being this awesome person, what really kind of drove the car into the garage when it came to that idea? Because that is just like, nobody ever sits down and goes, you know what, I'm going to make a board game for everybody. It's like, it's such a wild concept, but especially in today's world where it seems like everybody's plugged into something. So tell me a little bit about that, how that happened.
Okay. I've done a lot of healing over the years because I grew up in an abusive childhood, and just things that I've dealt with in life. I've needed to learn a lot about my emotions because I just needed to. When I was a teenager, I was young and angry, and I had no idea it was about the abuse. I just thought, I'm a bad person because I have a temper, right?
Right,
And
right.
I didn't want to carry that into my parenting. And so I just started watching Oprah, reading a lot of books, and just been working on my healing for decades. And then I had a friend ask me to talk to her young moms group. and to talk to them about how to teach their young kids how to manage their emotions. And I deal with teenagers, and so I'm thinking, okay, we've got 5-year-olds. Now, how do I translate what I know to them? And so as I was thinking and pondering, I came across these articles about the Inuit Indians. You should read up on them. They're incredible.
Okay.
But they have very little mental health issues, comparatively speaking, and I wanted to know why. And one of the reasons is that they play with their kids from the time they're very small. And so an example that I read was a mom might hand her 2-year-old a rock and say, "Throw the rock at mom," and the 2-year-old's gonna be like, "Okay, cool." And then when the mom gets, hurt by the rock, "Ow, that really hurt. Did you mean to hurt mom?"
Uh-huh.
And the kids' wheels are spinning. They're not being lectured to. Their wheels are just spinning. And so they kind of use improv as they teach them. And so I thought, how can I bring play to teaching these moms to teach their kids? And we are a family that plays lots of games. So I thought about it for a really short time. And then the idea for this game was like a divine download, I think. And I had it mocked up in 3 hours. It was done in 3 hours. And I
Wow.
started taking it around my neighborhood, and I have this game. Do you and your kids wanna play with me? And I would play, and it was so exciting. The first family that I played with had a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. And the mom had said, "I don't ever wanna play a game more than 20 minutes with my kids," right? We
Yeah.
played for an hour with them. And they loved the game. I watched the dad just be in awe of his children and how they could just go into those emotions like that and learn emotions as we were going through it. And I just knew I had something. So it was exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me is the whole message behind it is just incredible. Not to skip ahead or anything, but you've really captured hearts because it's displaying emotions in a very creative way and learning how to convey those emotions, because it's actually something we're going through in our house right now. My 5-year-old is just turned 5, and he's going through a bunch of different things and emotions, and daddy's working and mommy's going to work and all this kind of stuff. And just understanding, like, he saying he's frustrated even though he doesn't know what the word means and all that kind of stuff. So this is actually really, really, really cool. And the whole concept as well of, teaching kids emotions and what they mean. And, it's very empowering as well for at such a young age to be able to convey those feelings and know that, yes, it's valid. Like, your emotions are validated, because I think that's one thing that even as an adult, we sometimes struggle to validate each other's feelings because we're being so defensive, or we're thinking there's something wrong, or any of those things. And like you alluded to earlier, some of the mental health conversations that I've had with other guests as well really kind of point at those issues, because you're trying to, like, be protective of yourself, and I didn't do this to you, or, it's very much like that. So when you're dealing with children, allowing them to learn how to convey these emotions, but also in very creative ways, like show the emotion by saying cowabunga, for example. Like, it's very cool. Like being sad, saying cowabunga, it's like, how do you do that? Like, it's very, very cool. So, like, was it something that you just dreamt up, or what really kind of stemmed? Like, obviously, you were trying to really get to a certain message and help certain people, but it seems you've really mastered this. Like, I mean, I'm surprised Hasbro or one of those big companies haven't gone, "Hey, how did you come up with this? This is amazing." Like what is what is the driving force behind that? Did you just kind of go, hey, let's see what happens? Like, because that, to come up with something this creative, obviously it's very, very you, but what really inspired it? Because we all know making a game is difficult.
Yeah, I have taught acting, and so I know how important like showing emotions is in acting class, right? I wanted to have fun, but I'm a teacher at heart, and I really like have a passion for helping our kids understand their emotions so they don't turn away from them, because a lot of us adults have done that because we weren't really taught how to be emotionally intelligent, and our parents did the best that they could, and so on and so on. And just understanding it's okay to feel your emotions, that was something that I wanted to bring into the game. Um, as you play, you realize everybody else has these emotions too, and they don't look alike.
Right.
Um, and then I understand that our emotions are like a physical feeling and a thought, which makes meaning out of it practically at the same time. It depends on which science you talk to, which came first, the chicken or the egg. But um, that the emotion, we feel it in our bodies and it's uncomfortable. Some of the uncomfortable emotions are, and we want to turn away from that. We don't want to feel those emotions. And so I wanted to give us a chance to just recognize they're all good and healthy for us. They're not positive or negative. They're just emotions. And if we allow ourselves to feel it and move that energy out, which we do through the talking or the playing or the singing or whatever it is in the game, we're moving that energy out. That's such an important part. We usually turn away from that uncomfortable before we do that part. And so I really wanted that to be natural. So the beginnings of emotional regulation, recognizing an emotion, allowing ourselves to feel it and moving that energy out, is done in the game. And you don't have to know that. You're just practicing it. But there were things that I'm learning that I was like, I couldn't come up with this all by myself, because there were things that I've learned since that I'm like, man, I wish I would have thought of that. But one of them is I have an all play card, and it asks you to think about where you feel an emotion in your body and then just say it. So just be aware. Oh gosh, when I think about being jealous, I kind of feel it in my stomach. I kind of like shrink, like I stop breathing a little bit. Um, it's kind of tied to anger for me, maybe sometimes. I don't know. So as I get familiar with that, I'm going to recognize jealous when it comes around again much easier. And that's what I want
Right.
for kids and for other adults. And I thought we all felt emotions pretty much in the same space. And as I was taking around my neighborhood, my neighbor pulled out the all play card and he had anger. And I said, so where do you feel anger in your body? And I'm thinking stomach, gut, that's like where I feel anger. And he was like,
Right.
oh, that's easy. It's in my head. And my inside face was like, what?
Yeah, right.
But my outside face was like, wow, that's fascinating. Because like I don't feel anger that way. And so many of our like illnesses, they start because we've kept these emotions inside and repeated them, and we haven't let them out and recognized them. And so we get sick and we get pain because of our emotions. So I wanted that to be a part of it, but it's fascinating to learn that everybody feels it a bit differently, as
You
well
know,
as showing their emotions differently. So
yeah, I mean, as a sufferer of depression myself, the ups and downs and the turbulence that you have with your emotions is very, I mean, to say it's undocumented would be a gross understatement, because everybody goes through different waves of stuff. I've gone through things because of events that have happened in my life, COVID, all that kind of stuff. And it seems like a lot of people have gone through that, and why mental health has become a very big conversation, to the point that I haven't announced it yet, but for people who are watching, I'm actually creating a new podcast that is specifically for mental health because of the amount of people that want to bring mental health to the world and really just show how to get through things. So that's going to be an exciting thing for me, but it is such a big subject. And, you know, when you're talking about how to, like, where you feel emotions and things like that, even me thinking about that, like, anger for me isn't in my head. It's very much, it starts with an anxiety feeling, and then it's like, you know, then it gets into like a different kind of a hot-headed emotion where you start like really wanting to grit your teeth almost. And so for everybody to go through these different things, it's also very, very important that we acknowledge that we also have to deal with them differently as well because of the fact that you're feeling them in different ways. So think about that for your children. I mean, just tonight, for example, he had an accident because he wasn't paying attention to the fact that he needed to go potty, and he was on his iPad, right? So this is something that's been a new thing because he's having so much fun that he doesn't want to break away from this fun because he's worried that when he comes back, he's not allowed to be on his iPad. And that is a very much a parenting thing that we're going through because it's like a prison thing almost. You know, it's like, hey, I got to eat my dinner really fast. Otherwise, I don't have any when I come back. It's the same kind of thing. I got to play this game. Screw everything else. I need to play this because I may not be able to play this when I come back. So we got to break that down and think about the emotions that he's feeling and really talk to him versus like discipline him. And that's something that as parents, and for me as a parent, it's been a struggle because, you know, how do we communicate and how we communicate to our children is very important. So like influencers that my wife follows on Instagram and things like that have really got like, there's different ways you can parent. I mean, there's no handbook, so they don't come with a handbook, unfortunately. So it's like you kind of go off of how you've been brought up, and you learn from people around you, you know, all this kind of stuff. You see things online, so you try and find the right mix that works for you. But hearing you say that people feel emotions differently is so validating and also very concerning as a parent, because if you're not acknowledging that, you're doing your child a disservice because you're not helping them manage their emotions correctly either, because they're feeling anger because you just told them they can't go outside, but you don't understand how to help them process that emotion because you don't know where they're feeling that emotion. So I love what you're doing with this. It's such a great tool. It's not just a game. And I think that's the biggest thing is, yes, it's fun. Like, it is very fun. I'm going to go on your website and play some, the how-to video and some of the promo videos, just so people can kind of have something tangible other than me and you doing this, because I don't think it's going to give it too much justice. But legitimately, what you're doing is giving people a tool, because there's a tool for pretty much everything for education right now. It's reading, writing. There's apps on every kind of device for teaching people the kids how to do stuff. They've really worked hard at integrating technology into education, which is really cool. But there has been nothing before this to really help regulate or understand emotions. And I'm just super excited and delighted that you have done this, and that there is no one out there doing this. So you're first to market. You're first to come up with the idea. You're just, it's crazy but amazing at the same time. You know, it's just so fantastic. And I'm sure you pinch yourself on a daily basis when you read some of these amazing reviews that are on Amazon and places that are selling the product. Like just the feedback must be amazing.
It's really exciting. I created this game with kids in mind, and I was very surprised that adults love it. And so I've played it in all kinds of places, like I said, in the prison, in mental health institutions, in classes, but I love playing it at, like, corporate retreats. It's a blast because we all need this information. It's not just specific to kids. It's really fun. And there was a reason I brought that all up, and now it's just, like, escaped my mind. But yeah, it's it's just really fun for all ages. It really connects us,
Mm,
which I love. I'm big on fighting against addiction. And I
yes.
think from what I understand, addictions are we get into bad habits of turning to things that will comfort us that necessarily aren't taking care of the waves of emotions like you explained. Um, and then sometimes they can become pretty bad habits that really break apart families and hurt you and hurt others. And I've seen it happen to people close to me all my life, and it breaks my heart. And so I want to create that connection. Connection is the opposite of addiction.
Mm,
So as we get these bad habits and we become addicted to something, and we all have our addictions, right? Not judging, but we tend to feel this shame and guilt deep down inside, and that's kind of isolating and just wreaks havoc. And so that's what I really hope to prevent with our young kids, but also help with our old kids.
yeah, that
Funny.
makes sense. Yeah, our kidults. Is that a
Adults.
word? Yeah, we
There you
just
go.
made it up. I don't care. That's fine. That
That
works
works.
for me. I mean, to be honest, it's such a wonderful idea, and I've said this a couple of times now, but just to have the concept and then to go to market with it and put it on like that's well presented and I've done my research and the reviews and the people that are appreciating it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling, I'm sure, for you, but also for the people who are getting to play the game and really get something out of it. Because, I don't know how many people play Monopoly, but when I play Monopoly, generally, the people that I play with, not naming any names, tend to leave the table early, out of frustration, maybe. Just, and I'm not saying that we've played recently, but it just historically, that's what Monopoly looks like for most households.
Yep.
A board flung into the air. Oh, what the hell? Da, da, da. How did you do that? You can't own everything. And it just, now there's obviously other games, but yeah, it's just people, especially now because of COVID, we've really disconnected from, like, socially, we've disconnected from our peers and our friends and, all of these things, and found out we have emotions that maybe we didn't know we had, mentally speaking. And so something like this is like, it's gold in a situation like that. So, without further ado, I'm going to go to your wonderful website. Give me 1 second here, and I'll pull that up. And I'm going to share with people some of the wonderful things that are on your website, just so we can do that. Hold on. I'm also going to do this. This is the wonderful website I'm talking about, emotioncommociongame.com. And here we go. 1 second here. And share. Okay, so here we are. Excuse me. So straight out of the gate, I love the font. I love everything about this. But we're going to specifically focus on some of the things that are talked about. Who loves this game? Families, teachers, business people, school counselors. It's incredible. Who's the game for? Literally everyone. It doesn't discriminate or segregate any type of person, because we all have emotions, whether we want to or not. So, one of the things I'm going to play is this amazing testimony from Emma McAdam, who is from Therapy in a Nutshell. But I think people seeing it themselves will be obviously get something out of it. But I want to play it as well, so I'm going to do that right now. Here we go.
As a mom of 3 crazy kids, I'm constantly looking for ways to help them learn more about their emotions and how to process their emotions and how to give them names and express what you're feeling. So when one of my friends told me that she had made a game teaching kids this in a fun way, I was all on it. Emotion Commotion is a quick and easy card game you can play with kids, teenagers, adults. You can play it in families or schools. And how it works is you have an emotion card and then an action card, and you get a chance to act out the prompt with a variety of emotions. And in my opinion, it was a lot of fun. The kids had a great time playing it, and I would totally recommend this for, family, schools, youth groups, wherever, because it gives kids a chance to express emotions in a really fun way. So check out the link below if you'd like to learn more about Emotion Commotion.
Awesome. You were able
Emma
to hear that,
is
right?
amazing. I'm sorry.
You
Emma
were able
is.
to hear that, right?
Huh?
You were able to hear that as well, right? Because
Yeah,
sometimes
I
it
was.
doesn't. Okay, cool.
I was. Yeah. I love that she did that. She made that for me without me even asking. She made that commercial for me.
Well, that's kind of
She's a big deal.
that's kind of who you are, though, Melissa. Just not even really knowing you that long. Your personality is very likable, and you're also coming from a great place and trying to help people. So I think Emma, much like anyone else, would resonate heavily with this if they're out to help children or mental health or anything like that. For people who don't know what this is all about, because we haven't really started playing this, and we'll attempt to do this remotely, which is probably not
I've done
been done
it.
before. Oh,
I've
it's
done
done before. Okay, cool. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So my lack of faith in the process is unfounded, but I am going to play this video as well that's on here, which is how to play, just because these are really great little nuggets of information for anyone that wants to kind of hear or see what the whole game is about, especially because we keep saying how great it is, and really there's nothing to show where this is coming from. So I'm going to do this now. Alrighty. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? I think so. The rest, everyone can go onto the website. I think it's such a great website. Well done you for making it. I really need to do better on mine. You can buy it straight from the website. It's just amazing. And just because I don't want to focus too heavily on that, let me just see here. There is the game right here. But you do have the connection questions as well, which is a separate entity to this, correct?
Yeah, it's just a way for us to talk to kids about their emotions without the conversation being, how are you feeling? Fine. And then it stops, right? So this is imaginative questions that you can ask at dinner or in the car that are really simple. Like, if you were a superhero, what would your power be and how would that make you feel? So you just get glimpses into their feeling and their emotional life without it being an interrogation. It's pretty cool. And it connects you.
Yeah. No, that's I love that. That's awesome. It's actually a really great interview question if you're interested in that stuff as well. It's one of my favorite interview questions to ever have been asked, to which I stole it and then literally have used it ever since because it just kind of breaks the ice a little bit. Anyone that has worked for me that's watching is going to go, yeah, we hated that question, but it's always fun, right? So let's try and do this. You're going to have to help me through this because I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's show people how this whole thing goes down, right?
Right. So again, we have an action card, the orange one, and the emotion card, the green one. So this
Okay.
one says, I don't know what you're talking about. And if you had this emotion, which is confident, then it might look like this.
I have a green screen, so look at this. You can't even see the green. Oh my lord!
That's
Look at that.
hilarious.
That's fun. The words are floating. Ooh,
That is really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. All right. That's awesome.
That's so funny.
I actually want to do that again. Hold on. Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome. Wow.
That is
I'm such
awesome.
a child. Okay.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So if I were to do one for you, I will let you guess. I'll make the sound of a cow. How about that? That's the one I got. And I'm just going to pick an emotion and and you just keep guessing. Okay. All right. This is a tricky one. So we'll start off with a tricky one. How about that? Okay. Moo.
Angry?
No. Moo. Moo.
So this is too funny on so many levels, but wow, this is funny. Confused? That's good. I'm starting
Not
telling you my emotions at this point.
It's not confused. So usually when you're playing, you have lots of people guessing, so you can kind of play off of
Yeah.
each
So there's a
other.
lot of different ideas.
Keep
Yeah.
that in mind. Yeah. And then when you're the one that's doing it, you always want to help steer them as far as, no, that's not quite it. Or, yeah, actually, you're getting closer. You're right on. It's just a synonym. You can say stuff like that. But I would prefer, as the game's creator, that you don't give extra hints just to take somebody out of their uncomfortableness, because part of what we're learning is to expand our emotional vocabulary. And if you want, we can talk about why that's important later. But it's an important part is leaving some time to guess. So I'll try it again. Okay. Try it one more time. All right.
Yeah.
Moo.
Oh God. I'm never gonna live this one down. God, an emotion that does that. It's just so frustrated.
Nope. It starts with a P. I will give you that. See if that's helpful.
No, I'm. You got me. It's like
Okay.
I don't know any emotions begin with P.
No worries. It's powerful.
Powerful.
Goodness. I know. I told you it was a kind of a tricky one.
That is tough because you know what? People convey that differently. So that's going to really, but not only that. So the reason why that's hilarious is I am Irish and I've been surrounded by cows my entire life. So like I've never met a cow trying to convey that it's powerful, if I'm being honest. That is, oh God, this is, if this isn't my top viewed YouTube video after this, I don't know what is. I mean, goodness gracious.
So as it's funny because there's a little bit of a cognitive dissonance because you're like, a cow doesn't sound like that, right? Or I wouldn't make that sound if I were doing powerful. I would do it like this, right? So you start developing or strengthening like your compassion, because you realize, wow, other people don't show their emotions like I do, so maybe I should ask questions instead of assume I know what's going on with them, because it looks like it does with me, right?
Right.
So that it opens up that playing the game, which is really cool.
Sorry, I still hear you saying moo in my head, and it's like just so funny. Oh my gosh.
Okay, mister, how would you do a powerful moo? I want to hear it.
Oh, how would I do it? Oh, I don't know if I have a powerful moo in me because all you see, the thing is for me is I don't know. This is what the problem is. I've been around cows. There's only one. There's only one sound. Like this, it's literally what you did. But it's like you just tried to make me give an emotion to a cow, which is just so nuts.
It's funny.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
not make me moo because I don't think I'm gonna do
All
well
right.
with that.
Okay.
Oh dear God. All right, okay. This is gonna go terrible. I hope I don't wake anyone at this point. Okay, hold on. I'm so glad this is live. I'm really so glad.
So you can tell
That's
us what you're going
sarcasm.
to do.
Everyone, that's sarcasm, just so we're on the same page. All right. That's the worst sound I've ever done in my life. And literally, somebody just joined to watch that happen. And you're going to make me do it again. That's what's the worst part about it. Oh, God. If anyone just joining in, we're playing a game called Emotion Commotion. So, yeah, that noise was weird. Okay. Jesus. Here we go.
Okay. I'm guessing that's a horse.
No, it's the worst. It's the worst depiction of an elephant you've ever heard in your life.
Okay, elephant.
Trying not to be too loud. This is my very conscious parent awful elephant sound. I can do an elephant just so we're on the same page, but that was a really bad one. Okay.
All right. So, the emotion behind that, I'm going to guess, and other people can help me too, if you want to jump on and guess what emotion that he's portraying as a quiet elephant.
They're all watching, but they're not telling us anything.
I'm stumped. Okay, let me think. Relieved? Might have you do it one more time.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you? You would.
I would.
This is gonna be play. You have no idea. I'm literally gonna have this playing in my ears. My parents are gonna call me right after this and be like, "What in the name of God was that?" Now I've done such a terrible job of an elephant. Now I'm like, I really want to improve, but I can't because then it changes the noise.
Oh, you can do that. That's not, I mean, sometimes when you are playing, you realize you're not getting across your emotion. And so it makes you like rethink it a little bit. Like,
that was it right there. I'm not doing it again. You heard that.
Wait, I missed it.
Oh my gosh.
Exasperated. Embarrassed. No. Nervous. Am I getting close?
Exacerbate. Well, I suppose exacerbated might have been closer.
Okay. So irritated or frustrated?
No.
Exasperated. Let me think. What does it start with? Help me out here.
E.
It's not embarrassed. You weren't
I was feeling it before going to Disneyland. I'll put it that way.
Energetic?
No.
Excited. Oh, excited. Okay.
There you go. That was probably the worst sound I've ever done. I'm surprised nobody's texting me. You look awful and sound awful. Yeah.
All right, let's do an actiony one. Okay, we've got the noises down. Let's do an action one.
Yes. Do I need to?
Or a saying. Oh, I've got a saying. Let's do a saying. So I have, can you pass the bacon? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Say the emotion or show the emotion by saying, can you pass the bacon? Got it.
Can I pass the bacon? The dark green cards are the harder ones, and that's what I picked.
Dark green. Okay. Do I have dark green? Oh, I do have dark green. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize there was different color greens in there. What?
So the light green ones, you can start with like your kids, your younger kids, or the first time you're playing it. Most of the time when I play it, people are just like, I'll be brave and do the dark green. So, you know, but That's
I won't be that person, so
That's
no
me
fear of
helpful.
that.
No worries. Okay. So this is, can you pass the bacon? All right. Can you pass the bacon?
Oh God. Shocked?
Very close.
Surprised?
Pretty close. Yep, you're in the ballpark.
What's a number?
I know.
I'm
See, it gets
struggling.
you thinking of synonyms, which is really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I should be way better at this, to be honest.
All of us, right? Do you want to see it again or you got it?
Yeah, I actually, you know what? Yes, I do. Just because I want you to do it again. Just because you know what? We haven't embarrassed ourselves enough tonight. So
No,
let's do
not
that.
yet. Oh, we've got a long way to go. All right, here we go. Can you pass the bacon?
Okay. Now it's less funny because I'm trying to figure out what the emotion is.
It starts with an A. I'll give you a hint.
Astonished.
So close. That's another synonym.
God.
No, here's the deal. Adults have 8 to 10 go-to words to describe how they feel, and that's what we model for our children. So we're either angry or frustrated or sad. We just have a very limited vocabulary, but there are thousands of emotion words. And if we teach our kids exactly what it is that they feel, they're not angry because brother has an ice cream cone, they're jealous. Well, jealous
Mm,
has a different message than anger does, right? So if
right.
I know I'm jealous, I know I want something and I can go get it for myself. All emotions are information and they have messages for you in that situation.
Yeah.
So if we
So
have an expanded emotional vocabulary, we're going to get to the message faster and better.
I just love this this YouTube video is going to be amazing. So
So you said
astonished wasn't it, but it's
astonished.
close.
Mhm.
Awestruck. Same thing, I guess.
Great synonym.
God damn
Good job.
it. I lose at this game. I fail.
It's harder when it's just one-on-one. It's still just as fun, but just
Mhm.
for you people out there, just know when people are throwing out all kinds of words, it's faster than this. So
I feel like the two people that just joined, in addition to the others, are like, what is going on right now? This is nuts.
okay, we'll do
Yeah.
another one.
So what was it?
Amazed.
Why didn't
You
I
were
get
so close.
amazed?
I know.
God.
You knew it. You knew it.
Shh.
Okay, I want you to do another one. You do an
Yes.
action one, okay?
An action.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't want me to do a saying one? I kind of like those saying
no,
ones. The action ones mean I have to move around. Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've got an action one in my hand for you. I think your viewers would like it.
If you're doing it, sure, but I don't know how much movement I can do in this chair. That's why I'm like, hey, let's do a saying one.
How many of you would like to see this one done?
Show the emotion by playing the air guitar. Yeah, let's do that. Screw that. Yeah, come on.
Okay, see? That'd be a good one. And then you pick the emotion because I have to go.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. I just picked. I've been messing with the cards. Hold on one second. God, why can't I get easy ones? That's what my issue is right now. It's like just, the go-to ones that you were talking about. Not one of them have come up for me. All right.
Well, because I didn't put them in there.
Yeah.
I put a few in there, but not very
Here.
many.
Hold on. Let me move my mic because I know I'm going to end up just smashing the mic and then you're going to be like, whoa, blow my ears up. Okay. So air guitar. I just saw myself and I couldn't even see the air guitar. So I should be doing this, but I can't because it's down here. Yeah, that was me bouncing around the screen, but that was an air guitar, just for everyone.
I'm going to say silly.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. I don't have to do that again. Awesome. Wow. Okay, put that one away.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. A former stand-up comedian who's funny is a failed stand-up comedian. It's the right terminology. There we go. So really that's an amazing game. I love that. We could do this for a lot longer, but I don't want to go too much down that rabbit hole and then not touch on subjects that we want to touch on.
Yes.
So for everyone that watched that, number one, I apologize. My noises were awful. And also I don't know what that air guitar was. That's going to haunt me forever, I think.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you did. You did get it.
Across?
So I got my emotion across, but nobody got to see the guitar. I actually started laughing as soon as I saw myself doing it. But that's the fun of it. It's just like you're literally just having fun displaying emotions and discovering that you know nothing about emotions really. Which it awakens you to kind of like, whoa, how do I do that? That's like show the emotion by saying here comes trouble is the next card that was on the deck. Like that, it's just fun. Like try and tell me surprised here comes trouble. That's probably how that astonished guess that I had would have been a good one doing that. It's such a great game. Like honestly, playing it with you here has been an experience that I'll never forget. But like all in all, like for people who are watching this, as silly and all as that was, the fun with a group of kids, or adults or whoever you want to play this with, it's so cool. Number one, but it's so much fun. I really enjoyed that. So, the importance of knowing how to convey your emotions and identifying your emotions, I think is so important because, emotional education, which you were talking about earlier, is so important for everybody of any age. But for our kids who this was really created for, it's such a really great tool, especially in my house where my 5-year-old has discovered that having a sister of a younger age isn't necessarily the coolest thing. It's still great. He loves his sister more than anything, and she loves him. But there are moments where you're just, she's been named Hurricane Charlotte for a reason because he'll be making Legos and it'll be this elaborate thing, and then all of a sudden Hurricane Charlotte will come through, and it used to be a really great construction, but the remnants of it don't look so pretty. So it is emotions that come up during that process that, it's very, like I was talking to you about the use of the iPad and how we don't let him necessarily use his iPad or be on the iPad when his sister's awake because she wants to know what he's doing. It's all about that. So now the questions are, hey, when is she going to go down for a nap? Because I want to go on my iPad. So understanding those emotions and trying to really figure all that out. And that is a real situation, by the way. That's not just me making something up. It's real life. And so for those little situations, being able to convey your emotions correctly is huge. Like being able to ask him, hey, why do we want this to happen? And, tell me what you're feeling. And right now, his go-to word whenever things go wrong is I'm frustrated or angry, which is very funny, but also something that you want to fix. You want to you don't have two emotions when things go wrong. So why, frustrated, angry, or sad are not the go-tos. There are other emotions in between those. So this is definitely something that we're going to play with him, and I think he'll enjoy it thoroughly. But it just goes to show that this is for any age group. It's just so amazing. Applause to you, first of all, Melissa, because I really enjoyed that. That was unexpected enjoyment. I mean, I knew I was going to have fun, but that was just really, really cool. So well done. Like, oh my gosh, I'm still like, I'm tempted to look at the next one just because it's like, oh, do I want to try that one? It's, it's addictive as well. You've created an addiction as well on top of that.
Yeah, when I've played it, I played it with 3rd through 8th graders a couple years ago in a classroom, and we talked all about the emotions and stuff, and then the next week they wanted to play it again, and the next week. They begged every week to play it, and so what I would do is use it as a reward. If we get our lesson done and we're all listening and we get our, do it, then yes, whatever time we have left, we'll play. So I love that you can play this for 5 or 10 minutes, or you can play it for 2 hours, as I've played with full-grown adult women in retreats,
I
and we'll
can't
be on the
imagine what that
floor.
was like.
Oh, it's absolute. But,
I
like,
mean, the fun that we just had, goodness. Oh, well, that just fell. Okay, never mind. I was trying to put it back in a little baggie. By the
oh,
way, it's very, very well presented. It's nice. It's not too cumbersome. As I look at a panicky card on the floor, oh my gosh.
oh, that's a fun one.
Oh, panicky. Oh, I don't even know how I would do that. Panicky is probably how I was before we started this show, I'll be honest. Why isn't the sound working? The biggest thing, as I pick these up, the biggest thing for me is how incredibly innovative this is, and on top of that, you're teaching right now, right? You go around, you're an actual teacher.
Yeah, I teach, about emotions to anybody who will listen. So, I love using this game and teaching adults and parents what it teaches. I don't know if you have a second that I can kind of run through just some of the
Yeah.
general.
No, we've time, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, like we talked about, it helps you expand your emotional vocabulary, and we talked about why. Um, it gives us a chance to study body language, to listen to tone of voice, and I separated on purpose the cards and their actions so that you're only listening to tone of voice sometimes, or you're only paying attention to action without the sound. So it's breaking these pieces apart that just all come together, and we look at it as sharing our emotions, and just making us really aware and tune in to just little parts of it. And so
It's really smart. It's really, really smart. What I
yeah.
want to know now is, are you planning on building upon this? Because the next thing I want to do is, do you plan on sending out more orange cards? Can you buy more? Like, you're obviously going to be asked this question, so I'm going to get ahead of the game and just be like, hey, it's just like Cards Against Humanity. If anyone plays this game, it's not any way remotely similar to this. It's just another card game that I play, but they come out with sets and different things all the time. That is
Yes.
very cool.
I would love to do that. In fact, I pared this down. It had about 30 more cards in it when I first started. And even before I got it printed, I had like an art part to it too, where you could draw, but that just slowed the play of the game way down. And so I would like to add those cards and things like that. But here's the deal, like truth be told, I don't know how to market. I have this amazing game that people
Yes.
love and is helping in so many ways I didn't even expect. And I have a decent website, and if I talk to somebody for 5 minutes, they want the game. I carry them with me everywhere because people ask all the time.
Right.
But I don't know how to market online very well yet. And I'm not necessarily comfortable on being on social media or know how to do all the things, all the tech stuff. And it's just me, myself, and I. So I sell some games, and then I put that back into my own education or buying more games. So at this time, I need help marketing. So I love being on podcasts, but I really don't know how to drive traffic to my website. Like,
Right.
that's just not a thing I know how to do naturally. Um, so yes, that's coming. It's all in my head. I create things all the time. I've created a Monopoly type version of emotional intelligence. Like, I can't wait to create, but I need to, get more of these games out, get them into schools. Therapists love it. Like, I just need help. So,
That's, I mean, just from a business standpoint, having the business hat on for just a second and taking it being the not fun person. Legitimately, the game is exactly that. It is an educational game, even though it's fun, right? Now, it can be played by everyone.
Yep.
Without a shadow of a doubt, because we just played it and I had immense fun and made a complete fool of myself. But it is unforgettable when you play it, and it's also very enriching, and it kind of breaks down some barriers. Like, it'd be really great, like you said, in a business environment when you have a bunch of executives and convey this emotion acting like a monkey was one of those in there. I was like, wow.
I've had a CEO sitting on my couch of this big company, and I was just talking to him and his wife, and we played my game, and he was acting like a monkey. And I'm like, I love this game.
Right,
Makes me
right.
so happy.
But that's legitimately, I know that this is probably a long path, but approaching people, like making sure that this is patented for number one, because the wrong eyes could see this and just copy it, and that's really sad for me. I don't want that to happen for you.
That's why I need to get out in front of people now so that I am the game, because there is nothing like this out there
Right.
as far as the teaching goes and what the game
Have
does.
you? Are you planning on patenting it?
I have
it's
it
very
trademarked.
expensive. Yeah.
I have it trademarked. Yeah. But can you patent improv? Like, can you patent?
I'm not sure, and it's something that actually Pictionary you could probably find out through several channels. And if anyone's watching this, whenever this is, whether it's shared by Melissa later or not, like, definitely get in touch with her through the website. There's a lovely contact page there where you can literally just send a message and get in contact. That is a really great question, because Pictionary does it, and it's pretty much the same idea when it comes to being improv like, because you're having to draw and all that. I was also thinking licensing it and getting license agreements with like Disney and Nickelodeon and places like that, where you can work their characters in. So you can be like, hey, convey an emotion pretending to be Mickey Mouse, but getting their buy-in to where they're putting their tag on it. There's so many things that you can do, and if I can help you do that, I definitely will, because if there's one thing that I've gotten in the many years of doing this podcast is lots of connections, and lots of people out there that watch this and are advocates for me, which I'm very, very grateful for. But having a network of people that are experts in certain fields. So I'll definitely 100% try and help you with that. I feel like you've hit gold with this. So just putting it in the right hands. Schools is a winner for me. I think it'll be amazing. Even any kind of school, like your childcare facilities, like that take their kids, like this is in any age group. I mean, within a certain extent, type of thing, like 3, 4 and up. Like, it's so good. Like, it's so good. Like, we've just made complete fools of ourselves on live streaming, and I'm still saying how good it is, and would do it again in a heartbeat. So it's such a great thing. I know that you're not great at the social thing, neither am I, and quite honestly, I'm working on that. But this is why lives have actually come into fruition for me, is because just creating and putting myself out there more, wanting people to see exactly what we're trying to do here. But your game is amazing, and I think people will go and check it out. But I will definitely be sending this to whoever. But why not franchise it? Why not find out who or license it? I mean, license agreements or whatever, because you can put a tag on it. You can package it differently. You can do so many things because the essence of the game is still there. Adding winning formulas and personalities, and like, even, you know, there's so many things that come to mind, like, you know, things that you can get away with without necessarily doing licensing agreements and stuff as well. But like conveying an emotion sounding like Joey from Friends or something like that, you know, it's so cool. But I would definitely look into that, and I'm sure there's ways and means of doing that. Connecting with Hasbro or one of the bigger companies, and, you know, asking them, hey, you know, we've come up with this amazing game, you know, present it and see what they think. But definitely trademarking it and making sure that it's protected before you make that presentation, because we all know what business minds are like, and I'm sure the greatest minds out there will always, you know, try and, as much as we try and believe that people are always honest, there are business types out there that will take the idea if it's available. So I think this is amazing. I think you're going to be very successful with this, and I'll definitely be an advocate for you. And I really appreciate you coming on today and basically making me look like a fool. No, I'm joking. It was very enjoyable. But yeah, it's got so much potential, so much potential. And I hope anyone watching this can see that and goes to go out and buy the game. I think you're on the right track. I don't know how many sales you've had. Shark Tank is beckoning, because maybe you can get on there. I don't know. But there's no there is no ceiling at all. The next stop is the sky, I think. So I think you're going to do very well. So I really appreciate you coming on the show. It's been an amazing evening of games, learning about you, learning about how it works, where it's all come from, how it helps everyone emotionally. I think what a great tool for counselors or anyone that's dealing with mental health as well. This will be on social media, so you can share this video to... God, I can't believe I'm saying that. You can share this video for other people to watch anywhere and everywhere. It's on YouTube literally right now, and it will stay up on YouTube, and you can share it, and I'll send you the link. And then it will be available on Spotify and all the other forums as well very shortly after that. And you can listen. I don't know how that's going to sound just audio only either. That's going to be entertaining. But thank you so much for joining me this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another Unscripted Perspective. The guest today has been Melissa Price. She is the creator of Emotion Commotion, and it is a fun, amazing game. So please do check out the website. Go and buy it. It is worth it 100%. You'll not regret the purchase. And when you do love it, go and tell your friends. And if you have connections in the gaming world, why not reach out and see if we can make this a global phenomenon. EmotionCommotionGame.com is the website. And that, as they say, is that. Until another wonderful evening and another wonderful guest, everyone go with grace, and I will talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to leave us a rating or review on your favorite listening platform.
Be sure to keep in touch with us on Facebook and Instagram at
The Unscripted Perspective.
Or you can visit us at
www.theunscriptedperspective.com.